Okay, so let's check the previous scores of both teams. Team Norway has beaten just two teams, Portugal 9-8 and Denmark 9-5, and lost to Scotland, Switzerland, Israel and the Netherlands. And Croatia also won two games against Sweden and Ukraine and lost against Ireland, Wales and Spain. Let's see what today's game will bring to us here on field number 2, called Jan Rydzak's field. And we get a first face-off of the game. The ball goes to Team Red. And the ball is now behind the goal of Team Norway. It's gonna be is getting passed around. Now it's at in Luka Kukulecha. Still Luka Kukulecha. I think they're gonna try to run a play against the shorty. Passed to Ryan Gorup. Luka Kukulecha once again. She shoots and ball is stopped by the goalie from Team Norway, number 25, Torgrim Donsild Eriksen.
Having been able to watch Norway before, I do believe they do an excellent job relative to their clears. I saw a lot of patience in an earlier match from them. If they're able to get it on the ball, they do a very good job on the offensive end of keeping the ball moving. Some great off-ball movement. And I see a successful clear at this moment.
Yes, they just smoothly move the ball up to the other side. Work on some off play for their team. The ball is passed around the goal. Team Croatia. Now to number 3, Karvik. Number 23, Andrew Scott Buck, who's trying to outrun his opponent. Also another shot. He passes it to the other side. Up to Vik. And a beautiful ball to cutting through the middle player of Team Norway, 57, Haoyen Vu, but the ball's...
Hannabu is one of their more potent offensive players. You saw number 23 from the Norway squad, Andrew Scott Buck. Similar to earlier games, he is excellent at off-ball cutting. And now Norway on the clear, a turnover by Croatia. Norway trying to get settled in right now, work the ball around. A little bit of sloppy conditions.
Yeah, the weather is unfortunately like this in Poland. We try to call it just a regular Polish summer, but it doesn't work like that. Oh.
So I'm wondering, are you quite used to summers like this? Because I have to tell you, my time here in Poland, normally in July, has been filled with me getting sunburned. But
yes, it's rather like that. But the climate is changing constantly, and we're experiencing more and more just quick showers of water. Sometimes even some storms, and as soon as they come, they usually get away. Unfortunately for today, the rain is still falling down here on Pola Marsowe in Wrocław, but as we said a few times for today, it's falling
so
the same way on both.
Ball back here, and I do think it's interesting because having had the opportunity to watch Norway, I think Norway is at their best when they can settle in on an offense and do a very good job of spreading the field out and moving the ball. For Croatia today, I think there's got to be an emphasis on having a longer offense, the ability to put goals up. Unfortunate clear right there. A little bit longer the pass from Croatia. Norway now with possession, getting it to their short stick, looking for the clear. I was quite impressed earlier with the match with Norway. I thought they did a wonderful job of cycling off ball, a lot of movement behind there, good 2-on-1 ball. So you see Norway moving the ball around right now, changing out the personnel. Buck coming on. Yeah, number 3, Oscar Karl Vik for there as well. Working it back to X. And a nice goal. I cannot see the number.
I think it was player number 4, Grunde Otnes, one of my previous guests in the daily summary. We're gonna call the 5th quarter since today. Yeah, but it was just a great goal, and you're absolutely right that they're very good and positional often working it with the ball around.
I like the way that they worked the ball around and also picked up the shot. You notice that in this type of weather, I saw the game a little bit earlier where they get that bounce off the dirt, and it's quite literally unpredictable for any goalie.
Yes, every bounce shot in those conditions can be very dangerous, first of all, and second of all, I think that's the moment when the very slippery grass can give a little bit more advantage to the offensive players, because they decide first about the way they will go, and defensive ones have to just adjust to which way they should go, so it can be very slippery, but as we saw on every field since the beginning of the race today, every player can slip a bit. We saw the game at the turf pitch, the pitch number 1 between Poland and Wales, unfortunately last one Poland, but this kind of wet surface was also not a factor of the outcome, but the factor of how the game was played, how the players moved around the pitch. Now let's look at the offensive play. Oh, I was about to say that Croatia is about to do something interesting, but Luke Rogic-Horish-Blight dropped the ball.
Disappointing result for Croatia right there. I think they finally had settled in on offense. Now Norway's back in on offense, off the turnover.
And we have, I was about to say we have a quick play, fast break, but no. Defense wants to be at the play they love the most. They want to settle down, be patient, circle the ball around the net, wait for a perfect moment to strike in a perfect matchup. Grunde Otnes, number 4, passes the ball behind, now to Vu, once again to Grunde Otnes. He plays it back on the other side to Andrew Scott Buck, who tries to run, and a beautiful pick and roll. It was just a beautiful 2-man game between those players, Haoni and Vu, and his friend Scott Buck, Andrew Scott Buck. Grunde Otnes shoots, but it's saved by Tomas Trgo, the goalie from Croatia. When we're about to tell a little bit about the Croatian offense, maybe in a moment, I think it's really based on few very good individual players. But now there's one of the Norwegian players, and they're still passing the ball beautifully, and there was a nice feed inside to the crease for Andrew Buck again. Shot, it goes wide.
In an earlier match, Marcin, see how Norway's players are moving off ball. Croatia's goalie keeping them in it. Honestly, there's at least 3 saves he's had so far. Really diving all over, give them the opportunity to get the ball out.
As we said before in previous Croatian games, Tomas Trgo is one of the really most experienced players in this tournament. He's playing lacrosse for 28 years, so he knows what he's doing between the pipes. Great pass to Grunde Otnes, but he gets trapped between 2 defensive players from Team Croatia. There isn't any flag, everything was inside the rules. Otnes with the ball. Just a moment of patience for Team Norway. They're gonna settle down and prepare the
love
defense.
the spacing from Norway.
Yes.
And pull the field apart, force Croatia to cover them out, and really open up the lanes.
Yes, definitely.
They do a wonderful job of playing 2-man ball on the front side of the ball, but then slipping people behind. Just well coached.
Ball is in Roger Glavigio stick, which passes behind the goal, and once again to Hao Vu. He's gonna try to run and passed for the outside shot. Nope. Now the outside shot by Andreas Uden, but it hit the post.
And it looked just like a pass right back to Norway.
A great rebound. And the ball goes to the X, and there's an attack from behind the goal, and a shot from a sharp angle by Martin Meilender Larsen.
Seems almost as if Norway's calibrating. I think they've about 6 shots so far. They've been slightly off on that. You can see the caliber of the shots, though. Very quick to move them reverse and make that goalie move.
They're doing a really good job at also backing up the shots. They are playing still in the offensive half of the field for them for like 2 or 3 minutes without a stop. Just pushing and trying to score another goal, making it maybe 2-0, but we'll see. A running play and a very beautiful pass, but unfortunately like few centimeters above the stick of the player waiting there
Roger
inside.
giving Gio, I believe it is.
Yes, Roger giving Gio. And the clear from Croatia, nicely done. Their player is on the other side, Horish Blight. That's the name.
I think you would appreciate Croatia really settling in right now. They've had a run here. Norway spent a lot of time on offense. I think it's important that they actually enable the defense to rest for a moment. That was a long run on defense.
There was still 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and the score is just 1-0. So, yes, I think it would be the best advice for Team Croatia just to settle down, just to let their defensive players breathe in, breathe out, and now they can try to construct some kind of a play. The quick shot by Ryan Gorup, one of the best scorers in Team Croatia. It goes wide, but with the help of the backing up player IDX behind the goal, the ball is in the stick of John Brennan, Jack Brennan. His name is John, but he likes to be called Jack. Ryan Gorup with the ball to Luka Kukolecha, who's trying to he was trying to run better than Oskar Vik, but the ball was dropped and quickly picked up, and the shot came. Shot beautifully backed up by one of the Norwegian players. Croatian, excuse me, players. The ball is in the stick of the other Brennan, the Michael Brennan. Luka Kukolecha to Jack Brennan, but he hesitates to shoot. He just picks up the ball and brings it up the field. When there are two passes to the behind the goal to Michael Brennan, who picks the ball up.
Croatia is showing some nice patience here on offense, working the ball around, trying to pick a spot.
And a shot by Luka Kukolecha, stopped by, I don't even know, by the goalie or by one of the Norwegian defenders, but it doesn't matter. Just a quick transition to the other side of the field. And a quick decision to make a shot by Haonyen Vu. Shot goes wide, but once again, one of his teammates backs it up and
I think that'd be what we refer to as a possession shot quite there. They had the opportunity. There was a man backing up. He tried to pick a top corner. See how fast Norway gets down the field. They had excellent space in there. But credit to Croatia that got the backside defender back in, kind of stalled out that fast break. See if they can hold once again.
It's Oskar Vik. Opnes, Vu. Oh, nice pass to cutting Martin Melander Larsen from behind the goal. Oh, great ground ball by Oskar Vik, who just played a little bit
great
of
field sense
hockey
there, right?
Yeah. What a wise play, not to pick the ball at once, just move it a bit, be smarter than the opponent. Some pick and roll play. And another shot by Norwegian
Croatia's goalie keeping them in there. Great save on there. Crease violation to give Croatia another opportunity. Considering the time of possession that Norway's had so far, Croatia doing a great job of keeping themselves in there.
One minute and 44 seconds left in this part of the game. Two Croatians to try to equalize. Now it's their ball. They're also passing it around, settling up some kind of offensive play.
I mean, we have about a little bit under the minute and a half left in the first period. And despite Norway's dominance in terms of offensive time of possession, Croatia is only down by 1 goal with an opportunity to even it up before the end of the period.
And I think we should credit for that situation Tomas Trgo, the Croatian goalie, who just did a wonderful job in the first quarter to keep their players only 1 goal down.
Oh.
Kind of a roll and a shot by Jack Brennan. It was blocked by the Norwegian defenders.
About a minute.
But it's his brother who passes to one Brennan to another, and the Jack one
Terrific opportunity there, just unable to convert, and now we have a flag down. It's on Norway?
Let's take a moment and look at what happens.
There's at least two players holding themselves, not quite sure, injuries or fouls.
I don't know if it will be a man-up situation, a simultaneous foul. Let's see who goes onto the bench.
Apparently no one.
Number 10 from Croatia.
There we go.
Yes, there's a penalty to Luke Rogic, Horish Blight from Team Croatia. So we have a 40 seconds until the end of the first quarter and a man up for Norway. Let's see what we can do with the one player advantage. Grunde Otnes with the ball. They're working around, and a beautiful skip pass to Hao Vu. Wasn't caught at first time, just dropped and picked up, so that's why we don't have a goal. Beautiful no-look skip pass from Roger Glavigio to Grunde Otnes.
Once again that just a tiny bit off the mark, but their ability to find these seams off ball, unparalleled so far.
They're finding beautiful pen lines. They're utilizing it. They're doing great passes. Just their teams aren't as well as they would like to. So we're at the end of the first quarter. The score is Croatia 0, Norway 1, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Because we had a penalty to end the first period, Norway will start with the ball on man up. We don't have a running clock to show the total time relative to the penalty, but it probably estimated about 20 seconds for Norway to get something off. Oh my goodness, that stop. Literally about 20 seconds into the second period.
Once again, Thomas Trgo, the really outstanding goalie from Team Croatia. Great job, 28 years of playing lacrosse from this guy, and you can see not only his experience but unbelievable talent.
He stopped it on the ground and then somehow managed to throw his stick up to stop the stuff at the top. It was an impressive stop there. I think, Martin, he may be able to make his highlights for you today.
I hope so. I hope so.
So we are all even heading into the timeout. Croatia again has turned away despite excellent ball movement from Norway. Croatia is shown to be a stalwart here. A solid defense throughout.
Yeah, but this game, although having just one goal scored, is really going very, very well. We can see a lot of offensive plays and a beautiful showcase of defensive skills from Tomas Trgot. That's one of the name of Croatian players that I think we say over and over again. Just incredible job between the pipes of the Croatian cage. Let's see what will his teammates do in the offense. As we told before, the Croatian offense is based on very great individual skills by the Brennan brothers, by Luke Rogic-Holic-Bride, by Luka Kukolecha. So they've got some, Ryan Gorup also, but they've got some players, but they're using mostly one set of offensive players, which may get very tired at the end of the game. But well, we'll see. We'll see how it comes and what will be played next, because once again it's John Jack Brennan with the ball on the offensive side of the pitch from the point of view of Team Croatia. Ryan Gorup with the ball to Luka Kukolecha. He runs across the field and passes it to Jack Brennan. Brennan to Kukolecha, to Gorup, and once again Croatia. Oh, they did some kind of a two-man game ending with the shot by Ryan Gorup. The ball goes wide, but it's still red.
Then it was a solid possession from Croatia. They continue to seem to work that two-man ball. I'd like to see them potentially find a crease feed or at least just a little bit of off-ball action.
Just two passes in a shot from Luka Rogic-Holic-Bride. Let's see if they can move the offense a little bit more with passing the ball. Michael Brennan. Two passes and a feed inside. That's once again the same. I think we were talking about a little bit more of patience. I think would give better effort for the Croatian team. And now we got a opposite situation when there's Team Norway trying to make some offensive play. Groomed out in a stick.
Heads up play by Norway, despite the check, still able to collect the ball, keep the offensive possession.
Great defensive play, but also a great job from the other Norwegian players. 3, 4, 5. I'm just counting the passes to make us all see the difference how the Norwegian team prepares their attack. They're just passing. They're trying to give their defense a little bit time of rest to settle down.
Number 2, Martin Larson coming in, feeds the ball in behind on X.
And a beautiful pass. Hesitation.
I love Buck's patience in an attempt
behind the back.
But not to be fancy. He simply, that was the angle of attack, and they've maintained that level of pressure.
It was Andrew Scott Buck trying to score the goal behind the back, but the ball stays in Norwegian sticks, is played up the field. Otnes to behind the goal. Larsen to Vik. To Halvorsen. And there's Gao Nyenvu trying a running play. Oh, a beautiful goal. I think it was Torbjörn Seim Halvorsen scoring the goal number 55. But it was worked by all of the team that was passing the ball around. It was a great pass from one wing to another. Beautifully passed, beautifully worked by all of the team. Great effort by 4 or 5 offensive players of Team Norway. And the outcome is the second goal for Team Norway here in today's match between Norway and Croatia. 10 minutes, a little bit more than 10 minutes left in the second quarter of the game before the halftime. And a face-off win. Oh, I was about to say a face-off win for the Norwegians, but yes.
They do pick it back up.
Otnes with the ball. Beautiful pass down the field and another goal.
Tic-tac-toe. Norway demonstrating the stick skills and the confidence to move the ball quickly on the fast break there. resulting in another goal for a 3-0 lead.
Beautiful shot and converted to the goal by Hao Nyen Vu, number 57 for Team Norway. Great job by all of offensive players. Just a great transition, fast ball movement, and a situation 1v1 between Hao Nyen Vu and Thomas Trgo, whose efforts in this game were outstanding, but you have to sometimes let the goal in. You can't cheat against mathematics and probabilities.
Well, I think for Croatia, it still comes down to, with them losing the face-off right here, they're just going to call a possession call there. Norway has the ball again, and even if they get a stand, Croatia has to. It's only 3-0. There's a little bit under 10 remaining in the second period. It's not more than enough lacrosse. There needs to be more patience and off-ball movement by Croatia. I thought they had a decent two-man game.
Halvorsen tries to score the goal with some nice...
Excellent defensive stand there. An amazing strip.
But a very nice and quick clear from Team Croatia. The ball moved within 2 seconds up the field for the other half of the pitch. It's Luka Kukolecha with the ball, passing it to Chuck Brennan. And hopefully Team Croatia will slow down a bit.
Brennan with a shovel pass back to X. I think they need to be a little bit careful on that pick and roll and the slip. You've seen the refs earlier. Oh, what a petty play. But the
player with
defender,
the ball,
Buck, just sort of waited for a moment, wait till his head was turned and came back and stripped the ball. I've been very impressed watching his play thus far through the tournament. And I think because I threw the compliment out, he got triple teams.
But the Croatian, as you say about double, triple teaming, the Croatian player got double teamed, so that was the perfect moment for a pass. I don't know if he didn't get any signals from his teammates or anything, because he just got double teamed, and it was the perfect moment to pass the ball around to find somebody who's free.
In contrast, if you look at the styles, you see Norway so spread out, really creating opportunities and back cuts. It's not that as if they're not capable, but they force the defenders, even if they were choosing to stay back in, you can see the lanes. You can see where people need to be just with the extra bodies. Very impressed with their offense, having watched them 2 times so far in this tournament.
Roger Glavig-Gio to Martin Larsen, to the other side to Otnes, and one of the Norwegian players falls down, but it's Robin Zitter. He just came back to his feet, and it's once again Glavig-Gio trying to outrun his opponent. There was a beautiful slide, but the pass was, I think,
he was looking
in the
for
wrong
Howe
direction.
over in the crease, who was open, but again, losing your footing and making it a little bit different in the rain.
Pass from one of the ex-players behind the goal from Team Norway.
Opportunity
just
here
goes
for
wide.
Croatia. I think Croatia needs to get it down and settled in. I'd like to see their offense spread out a little bit more. We know they want to play that two-man game with the Brennans. I think it's important that they get the ball into that offensive possession and don't simply settle for the two-man. Try to find an off-ball look. I think what's a negated item there is the ability to make a defense respect those feeds. Unfortunate off-ball feed there.
It was a great effort in clearing the ball and one pass.
Number 8 from Croatia, Ivanic. Beautiful strip.
Yes, Patrik Ivancic took the ball away from Grunde Otnes, and now Ryan Gorup passes the ball. It won't be over and back because the ball didn't cross the restraining line. So Luke Rogic-Holjuš-Blight is now waiting for his teammates to substitute, and it's going to be some time for Team Croatia to settle down and prepare their offense. We've got 5 minutes and 40 seconds until the halftime. The score is 0-3. And a shot and a goal by Marin Petar-Domic, Team Croatia. What a great running offense. Every time the Croatian team gets the ball to the offensive end of the pitch, I'm just saying they're passing too late. less and running too much, but also, excuse me, this time I have to say that was a perfect decision because the possession by Croatians was converted into a goal by Marin Petar Domic, number 12. Great shot, great goal, and the lead of Team Norway is cut to only 2 points in this game.
I think in that particular instance, though, I saw the team kind of pull far and away from him, leaving a very clean lane. He took that shot with it early enough that he had the opportunity. There was enough goal open. He didn't wait on the shot. So frequent when people do these alley dodges, they wait too long on the shot. They don't hang there.
Oh, goal! A long pull for Team Norway. There's only 4 winning for Team Norway, but very. I think just sort of a face-off, one pass, ground ball, and he just went to the cage of the opposing team. Lars Linder Henriksen, great job.
Such a tough turn of events for Croatia. The momentum feels going your way. You score a goal, and Norway comes right back with a long pole goal, maintaining that lead at 3. Opportunity here for Croatia. We have a call against Norway on the face-off.
As you can see, sometimes you don't have to be patient. If you have a clear way to the goal, as Lars had Linder Henriksen just go and shoot it. He did it, and they're up again by 3 points, Team Norway.
Still only a 3-goal lead for Norway. I think Croatia needs to just settle in. They've demonstrated that they have the talent. They just need to be a little bit more spread out. Give themselves an opportunity, even if they want to play on-ball, two-man ball, they need space. And it's going to be challenging if they try to attack the middle of the field, given the current field conditions. You've seen people slip on there. They really want to be at the wings.
Luka Kukolecha with a running play. Passes the ball to Petar Domic, who just backs up and finds some space to dodge. But a very great effort by the goal scorer from Norway. Oh, by Domic, stopped by Torgrim Eriksen.
Good credit to Norway. It's quickly communicating that. That was a quick restart. You could see there was confusion. I like the talking between the Norway defense to quickly reset, make sure everyone was covered.
Ryan Gorup calls him his teammate Luka Kukolecha and sets him a pick, but Kukolecha decides not to go that way. Ball back to Gorup and a shot. Stopped by Eriksen. I think that's just Croatian style of play. They don't want to pass too much. They don't want to.
I think didn't change his plane there. The goalie could see the ball coming right out of the stick, seemed to easily adjust to that. It's going to be a challenge here. I think with the sloppy conditions, you almost want to even attempt off the ground or at least change your plane, get some looks there if you're going to be taking that outside shot. We've had a pretty heavy, steady rain, probably since the start of the game. Feel it's going to be moving a little bit slower.
We've got less than 2 minutes left until the halftime. Remember that the last 30 seconds on the clock is the stoppage time in the first 3 quarters, and then in fourth one, last 2 minutes are the stoppage time.
And normally going back to that offensive stand, they're wide open. I should say wide open, very open, making it hard direct on Croatia. You can just, but the confidence with the ball, you can see there's no, you don't get the feeling that anyone person's trying to sort of run their offense, moving and playing off with the ball right now.
A beautiful blockage of the pass, but the ball is picked up by Team Norway and passed behind the goal to Martin Larsen, who passes the ball up the field. Now it's in Grunde Odensen stick, and a shot by Torbjørn Halvorsen.
That shot, he used the defenseman as a screen, aim for far post. Smart heady shot there. About 50 seconds left to play. Getting through these fields now, the ball's going to move slower, even in errant passes, the ball staying in.
But also the spacing of Team Norway is what makes them pick up all of their passes. Oh, pipe hit by Oskar Vik. Another feed inside, Another great job by Tomas Trgo. What I was mentioning is the spacing of offensive plays by Team Norway also makes their players their job very easy. Pick up the loose ground balls, else they come up the field. So the spacing makes it very good to play feeding from behind the goal up the field, because there's really a lot of space for the offensive guys, other guys to pick up the ball if it just went through. 28 seconds left in the game, and a timeout was picked by one of the teams.
Honestly, Croatia's goalkeeper is keeping him inside of this game. There were some in-close shots in which he has stopped. I think the defense has held up pretty well considering how well Norway executes this set. They dash down through there. It takes a lot out of you as a defender. It's wet. It's not easy to hold your ground on there, and you can see Norway cycling on the backside off ball. I've been very impressed again with the way Norway keeps their spacing, makes sure that they get man on the far side of the ball, cuts through, and gives them potential opportunities. We'll see if Croatia is able to equal the measure. We have a timeout here by Norway. With 30 seconds left, I'm sure that Croatia is trying to prevent a goal heading into half. Make sure that we keep it within a 3-goal game heading into the second half.
Second half, yeah. There's a second quarter just very close to the end, because there are only less than 30 seconds, just to be precise. 28 seconds left in the second quarter, and the score is Croatia 1, Norway 4.
Worth mentioning here with 30 seconds left, and as we've seen towards the end of these possessions, first off, each team has 2 timeouts heading into the half, and they don't get to carry them over. They'll get another 2 heading into the second half. The second portion, frequently we've seen people take this shot early within the 30 seconds, a rebound or a block shot, and suddenly it's off to the races the other way. So we'll see if Norway is able to make sure they hold for that last shot and get a quality possession out of this.
Nice feed.
18 seconds.
Shot from a very
Croatia's
sharp angle.
goalie with the ball.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds left. We've got Croatia on the run, about 5 seconds left. It's worth mentioning, probably only about 2 seconds.
Timeout by Team Croatia.
They don't get to carry it over. The ref may have been a little bit late even to call them. We've seen a little bit of that where miscommunication between the coaches and the ref trying to maybe get it with at the 3 to 5 seconds. Regardless, this will give Croatia an opportunity to maybe try throwing it at the net and deflecting it in. Worth the attempt right before the end of the half.
Although lacrosse is the fastest sport on 2 feet, I think the 2 seconds or even 3, if the referees decide to correct the clock, will be not a good time to construct any positional play. So I think they're gonna just try to, as you said, try to shoot as fast as possible and to deflect it maybe somewhere. We'll see. Maybe they want to use the conditions to play some hard bouncing shot, if we can call what the ball now makes on this mud a bounce, but we'll see. It's going to be interesting, I think.
Unique opportunity, Croatia. Let's assume that there's about 3 seconds left on here. Worth mentioning that the clock seen on the field is not the time. It is held by the refs. It's been a little bit confusing during the course of the tournament, usually with just a slight variance, 2 to 3 seconds, but certainly not safe to hold that.
It was just a shot outside, very outside shot by John Brennan, but
we have a flag down right at the end.
Too many men on white. Somebody shouts at the referees as far as I can hear. But as I'm counting players now, I've got 6 of them in defensive end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. I think now it doesn't matter. I think we'll be heading into the halftime, or maybe not. The referees are about to timeout again, or is it a halftime?
Well, a wonderfully confusing end to the halftime for us there. We see a flag thrown down. We're going to get clarification to start the half, but if we are correct, we should see Croatia start with the
Ball
ball.
possession next time.
Possession
Yeah?
to start off for the half. So an opportunity for them to overcome what is a 1-4 deficit versus Norway. We are heading into half now, so we will see you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you, and stay with us.
Commercial break! We've been really busy over the past 2 years developing our very own women's lacrosse stick.
We are really, really proud of it. So stop by the shop. We would love to tell you more about it.
Good Stick Co. Come get a stick. Good Stick Company is here to manufacture and produce lacrosse sticks locally here in the Czech Republic. Our mission is to make lacrosse more accessible so more kids can have access to affordable, high quality equipment so more people can play this game and we can share this sport around the world. Our philosophy on pricing is quite simple. By removing all these different logistics and these middlemen in the manufacturing process of lacrosse sticks, we can pass those savings on to you. We can make these quality lacrosse sticks affordable for more people.
We honor our indigenous roots and international history. Lacrosse is more than a game. We play with speed, heart, and precision. Young, modern, electric, inclusive, growing across the globe. Lacrosse is everyone's sport, governed globally by World Lacrosse.
So as we have been talking about before the short break, before the half time, excuse me, there is going to be a penalty against Team Norway. I think it's number 7, Einar Cornelius Trolle Auestad, sitting on the bench, penalty box, penalty bench, and there's a man-up situation for Team Croatia, which means they start with the ball and they pass it to the other team on the other side of the field. So the short-handed Norwegians now pick up the ball and will probably try to kill the penalty, kill the clock as much as they can. That's why they just
probably only about
spacing.
10 seconds were knocked off for Croatia before the turnover. So I imagine Norway, not hard to take 40 seconds off the clock. They'll get their personnel set up.
And they're even now. So the man-up situation didn't capitalize on a goal for Team Croatia, as Norwegians now pass the ball around as they like. Oskar Vik with the ball.
Not as much space as we saw in the first half from Norway. It seems a little clustered. It seems now that maybe the players are pulling themselves out. They have been the masters of backdoor cuts as this happens.
There were many passes before the shot, and that's the way I like lacrosse is being played, but the ball goes red somehow.
Call. I would have thought that was Norway ball, but the call is the
I
call.
also thought like that, but
Croatia trying to bring the ball down now. Tough on the sideline.
We should have been wrong. Beautiful sending his teammate down the field.
Great communication from Croatia there. Unfortunate pass in between. I thought that he made a decent pass there, but number 10 from Croatia, Harwich plate Luke Rojic, had a turnover, and they are back on defense. A little bit of a hidden ball trick gone awry from Norway there. I've seen at least 2 or 3 people try it. It hasn't looked very pretty. I'm not a fan, to be quite frank. I think it's
when it's played properly, it could confuse the defense, but this time I think it was just not a very honest try from Team Norway. But that's what we said about spacing and having an easy picking up the ball. Oh, it just went out of the bounds, so the ball will be
number
red.
4 from Norway, Gudon took a little limp when he stepped off there, maybe stepped in and rolled a little bit on his ankle. So I'm limping for a moment.
So Croatia does not stop.
Croatia with the ball now, bringing the ball down, and you'd like to see some spacing, a little bit more than simple one-man ball to a hard shot. Let's see what they have in their set as they attempt to pick up a goal. They're down 3 goals to Norway right now.
2 passes, and since the players settled and decided to take some offensive action, and the ball is picked up by Norwegian player Lars Hendriksen. And another kind of a short possession in the offense in the terms of what Team Norway likes to do, but a shot by Grunde Otzen. It went just inside the stick of Thomas Trgo, and now Ryan Gorup is settling down the situation in the other side of the field. So we're just playing now kind of a coast-to-coast lacrosse in one way and another.
Croatia has the opportunity here to get it settled in. You'd like to see a long possession. They have struggled a little bit with errant passes as they've tried to hold it into their zone. You'd like to see them get back to a little bit of 2-man ball and keep the ball spread out. So we shall see what they pull out for their offensive set here.
Okay, it's Petar Domic who tries to run some offensive play.
I think Petar Domic was looking for Eric Dominik coming across out from X. Thought he would maybe be able to throw a cross-street pass. Again, just a shade off like some of the turnovers we've seen. Norway drops the ball on the court, but immediately picks it right back up and it gets settled back in.
I think all of the sloppy passes and the balls that didn't get catch. I think it's just because of the players getting really tired and wear out. It's their 7th game during last few days, so I think that's why it's not a lack of skill or confidence. I think it's just a very wet ball, rainy weather, and usage of their
March
bodies
and I
and
would
sticks.
have to agree with you. You see the players, and just the notice of the tape on the legs as we've gone through this tournament at this stage in the game. You know, there is a little bit of an endurance contest and mental endurance contest that takes place in these moments. Over the course of 10 games, 7 to 8 games over that period of time, it can just be grueling. You and I, having experienced international competition in these style of tournaments, both know it is unlikely on a 22-man roster you are going to have 22 healthy players by the end of the tournament.
Absolutely true. That's also what we've been talking yesterday with Stefan Stamp when we were doing one of the games. There's also kind of panic threshold. I love this this term, and it grows up with the players gaining in confidence. So I think there's also a second. The second mark. That we're gonna be back with this later. There's gonna be a penalty, but there's other factor. That you named perfectly, the endurance of the team. So the more experienced players get the higher panic threshold, but all of the team is also being worn out, and that's a kind of another factor that maybe not difference. Maybe it's not a difference between the experienced and the less experienced teams. It's just a factor that comes from the level of the games you had.
Croatia here on the man up, trying to find at least an extra goal here. You'd like to see a nice patient return here.
Shot from the outside by Petar Domic.
I don't think I'd be wrong in saying it hit his helmet and the post
Once
before
again,
bouncing back out.
Blocked, I think, by Oskar Vik, or just dropped by one of the players. Beautiful pass inside to Horlich Blight.
I think that's 2 deflections as we're watching here. I liked Croatia feeding that backside, the confidence to feed through.
But they shoot every 3 or 4 passes, not moving much of the ball, I think.
I do think that's correct. You're not seeing a motion out of the shooters or a need to kind of move their feet. This is I think a
Another
fourth
shot blocked.
deflected shot in this possession. Not quite positive. I think he gets a little bit lucky there with the off-body check. You'd like to see Croatia rotate the players a little bit, make the defense and the goalie move. I've liked when they reverse the feed from X, but again, trying to make Norway move, not a stagnant set.
And once again, they're trying just to push hard individually against the Norwegian players.
I think Brennan had the right idea there, feeding over to number 12 on the Croatian team, Dominic Van Petar. But Petar did not look ready for the pass. It's a cut.
And it's also kind of an outcome of not being on the move of the ball enough, I think. But let's see what will happen now.
Here, but Croatia has taken the ball back with possession. Again, you pointed this out earlier. They are relying on specific offensive players who are 7 games deep. This is late in the game. A nice shot there, again by number 12 from the Croatia team, Dominic Van Petar.
Yes, Marin Petar Domic. And the ball is back in the stick of Horlich Blight, who tries to pass it to the X, but also the meshes of the sticks, which are soaked 100% now, they also behave in a different way, sometimes just making your ball go down too much. So I think it also may be a factor making this passes hard to catch.
Very true. In this type of weather, combination of not just the wet weather, but also mud that gets on the stick and creates some errant passes. And then I think you throw that almost by Norway. I thought he was going to quickly flip it over there to defenseman. But I love the way they work this back and forth. The discipline of this Norwegian team as you watch them do their clear. Rotating just a little high for Buck. But again, it's still a quality attempt at the clear. You see their players run that line back and forth. Croatia now trying to equal the measure, get it cleared, bring it back into the offensive end.
Less than 5 minutes left in the third quarter, and the score is still 1 for Croatia and 4 for Norway. But there's a beautiful run was beautiful run by one of the long poles from Norway, number 8, Patrick Ivancic. But now we go the other way. And the second goal scored in this game by the long pole from Team Norway, excuse me. Number 21, Lars Linder Henriksen. What a great job from this long pole. He just got second goal of this game for himself, and the score is now 5 for Norway and just 1 goal for Team Croatia, with 4 minutes and 10 seconds left until the end of the third part of the game. Great instinct from this player, Lars Henriksen, who just caught the ball, made the interception and just ran down the field coast to coast and scored a beautiful left-handed goal.
You're just seeing composure by Norway here. Norway just seems, despite the weather, capable of finding looks, and I believe Croatia's goalkeeper has done an excellent job. But again, the spacing, as we talked about earlier, enables them to pick up if there is an errant pass. Very hard for Croatia to be out far enough to actually collect that. And the spacing enables those back cuts that we've seen Norway do so well.
Grunde Odsen to Glavigio. Back up top. Odsen once again. Oh, and the ball is dropped by but still picked up. There was a chance that Odsen would pick it up again, but now we're going to have a taxi of the ball upfield by Horish Blyde. Great job by this player. He just
I think Croatia's not even trusting the pass at this stage, rolling it across the ground. Rain is playing mind games with some of the players.
Ryan Gorup with the run, passes behind the goal to one of the Brennan brothers, Michael. Oh, great effort from Michael Brennan. He just went through his opponent in front of the goal, guarded by Torgrim Eriksen, but the shot was saved by the Norwegian goalkeeper.
And on the sloppy exchange following that directly, the Norwegian goalkeeper does a great job of getting back, picking up the ball, not enabling Croatia to retake possession, putting them back on the clear with about 2 minutes left in the third.
And a nice clear. Almost half of the team was doing their job with the ball through this clear. Odsen to Stöle. Stöle to Scott Buck. Andrew Scott Buck. Would try, he draws 2 of the offenders, but the ball goes down. Martin Larsen on the X, passes to Odsen.
You see Norway is still trusting their passing, though. They're still spaced out, really giving themselves a great opportunity.
Ooh, a shot by Ole Ståle.
Certainly would have affected there. I think he may have almost hit the light post, but it's okay. Lefty look. Nice spacing. There's someone there to follow back up on the shot for him. So they maintain
the ball is
possession
still wide,
pressure. That was an impressive shot. Not sure what took place right after that.
Oh, what an opportunity, but also a patient play. Number 55, Torbjörn Halvorsen, was just in front of the goal, but he decided to pass the ball back. And that's the patience in lacrosse I love about Team Norway. There is a little bit more than half a minute left. 30 seconds down to the end of the third quarter. So the time will be stopped. And another great effort for one of the long poles in this game. Now the Croatian player number 8, Patrik Ivancic. Shot.
You know, interesting moment right there. I could hear the Croatian players yelling at him for the shooter, but no one has the mindful enough to make sure they backed up the shot. So it is a turnover at the end.
But as we can hear the raindrops falling on our commentary tent, it's raining more and more today. Oh, what a beautiful move by now Vienhu. And the last shot of this period by number 4, Norway, Grunde Otnes. And that's how we end the third period with the score Norway 5, Croatia 1.
I have to tell you right before we head into this end of period, heading to our fourth, Croatia's goalie is quite literally keeping them in this. That was quite an opportunity on the save, be able to spin that ball away on a low shot. I think he's going to be needed for another 15 minutes to really keep them in this and give them an opportunity to potentially come back from this 4-goal deficit.
The last fourth quarter is just in front of us as the two players get ready for the face-off. And the whistle blows, and we've got the last 15 minutes of play between Croatia and Norway. We started talking about the Lax Festival also for the girls here in Wroclaw.
We have a flag
is
down.
thrown.
Unwise play by the Croatian player. I could see him coming in high from the side.
I hope there's nothing bad with the Norwegian player. Number 21,
If there's been a
I think.
consistent theme throughout the tournament relative to the difference between what I would consider box and field lacrosse in North America is an understanding that you cannot really hit a defenseless player, and some of the cross checks and slap checks we've seen them maybe looked away on some NCAA ball. It's just not going to happen in this format. And the refs have been consistent with it, so I have no issue. As long as you're consistent in calling.
The refereeing the same way all of the games.
See Norway moving the ball around.
So we are talking during the break about the dedication of the girls who are here, still competing during the Lacrosse Festival. That's part of our, not a part of European Championship, just like, let's call it side event. But despite the weather, the girls are still having some lacrosse. Oh, a beautiful shot by Andreas Uden. It just hit the pipe, I think, or the joint between the pipe and the crossbar. The Otnes passes it down to the wing. And And a shot by Hao Nyen Vu.
I think he was a little bit surprised nobody came out on him. He took 2 or 3 clutches on that, was waiting for the defender to try to close him out. This is a nice offensive set from Norway.
Many passes,
Two
passes
pipes.
once again, but it's got
Little deflection, excellent defense. We've seen number 8 and number 13 for Croatia. Nice sets. I think we're going to get
another penalty, but a loose ball push, I think.
Did they call it a loose ball? Hold on. He did have possession.
Yeah. So there
It is what
wasn't
it
any
is.
penalty, just keeping the possession up.
So Croatia with the kill right now. Imagine there's probably only about 30 seconds at most.
The player got double team, Dominik Eric, but he managed to escape and pass ball Brennan. Passes to Jorge. And it's waiting for their teammate sitting down multi-box. So the ball is passed up to Ryan Gorup, who takes it away from the center of the field. Just patiently waiting, as you said. That's a wise play from these guys. So I think that's just their style of offensive play. They want to do 3 or 4 passes and then shoot it hard. And now when it's smart to keep the ball outside of the field, outside of the game center, they're doing it and passing the ball to Michael Brennan.
Yeah, with one goal, you'd like to see what Croatia is going to do to kind of generate a little bit more offense, maybe some off-ball movement, or at least a dodge here on this. It seems like they've thrown 1-2 passes and settled for that shot. You'd like to see them get at least underneath that 10-yard mark for a shot, so it's in their advantage.
Oh, there was a nice roll dodge from Marin Petar-Domic, but the shot unfortunately went very wide.
Now that's tough. There's no one there backing up the shot, and right away it's back over to Norway. Becomes discouraging. You can see the frustration a little bit as the Croatian players went to the bench. Norway's just so good. Look at that
Beautiful pass to Grunde Otnes, who was just cutting through the middle of the field in front of the goal and was just fed with the ball from down the wing, almost behind. I think it was behind the GLE. So a beautiful pass to Grunde Otnes, who just capitalized on that pass and shoot the ball inside the cage of Team Croatia. Great team effort awarded by a goal number 6 for Team Norway.
Yet again, Norway showing their ability to cut off ball and find open people. Clearly a impressive run for them. The 6-1 lead. They're definitely demonstrating their ability to control possessions and be patient to find those goals.
We've got 10 minutes left in this game, almost 11 minutes here in this game, and we have Sam and Summer, our reporters that are about to ask the questions in the post-game interviews in the next 11 minutes. The ball in the defensive end of field for Croatia,
Oh, beginning to get sloppy here. You can see number
28, Emil Navestad, I think it was him. And the ball was red, and the Croatian players try to make another quick attack, I think. No. The ball with the stick were stolen from Michael Brennan by Norwegian defense.
Both teams up here in Norway, uncharacteristically throwing ball away.
That's what we said a few minutes ago. It's just the result of the wet sticks, wet ball, wet meshes, and also players being very tired after 5 or 6 games this tournament.
Croatia with the ball. There's about 9:30 left in the 4th period. I'd like to see a nice offensive set from here, potentially getting dislodged by the Norway defender. Croatia has not had
what a pass!
luck thus far in breaking it down, and now Norway is on the run.
A beautiful fast break situation, but Thomas Trgo did perfectly what he should inside the net, just moving left and right alongside the goal line, and he just positioned himself perfectly near the left pipe and stopped the shot from the Norwegian player.
I think he took that shot off of his right hand. I see him shaking it back and forth with a sense of frustration.
Timeout for Team Croatia. Patrik Marojevic just caught the pass, and the coach asked for a little bit of break for Team Croatia to settle things down. As we said before, 5 goals, it's quite of a difference between those two teams, but in lacrosse everything is possible, like in one of the games of today. My favorite team and yours too, Team Poland, was trailing with 5 goals. Team Wales, it was 3 for Poland, 8 for Wales, and Poland, our national team, managed to make it 8-8. Unfortunately, they lost 2 other goals in the game, but there's nothing impossible in lacrosse. We can score goals quite fast, so hopefully Team Croatia will make this game a little bit more interesting with coming back a little bit.
Lacrosse is a sport of runs. People tend to go up 2-3 goals and 2-3 goals for the other team. In the case of Croatia, to get a strong run together, they need to demonstrate the ability to kind of move the ball and move the plane. It's going to be very hard, I think, at this stage, probably even to get a bounce shot, considering how sloppy the area around the crease is beginning to get with this type of rain. But again, if there's off-ball movement, the goalie has to move and identify. It's challenging. There's certainly opportunities. 8 minutes is quite a lot of time on the clock.
So the ball is waiting for the players, and the referees are ready, and we're playing again after the timeout for Team Croatia. The players in the beautiful red and white checkered jerseys are now all wet, but still trying to fight back against Norway. Running play from Dominik Eric, and a pass to Kukolecha, but the ball stops as the ball was dropped. And it's now in Norwegian sticks, picked up by Torbjørn Halvorsen, number 55. And it's passed to Martin
Credit to
Larsen.
Norway. I apologize. Credit to Norway on that. You could see during a clear, it was a little bit of a broken clear, but immediately they recovered. The attackman picks up the ball.
But they have this beautiful moved, beautiful experience that they know they have to just pass the ball back to the goal, to the end of the field, wait a little bit, give everything some time to everyone, some time to substitute.
Demonstrating discipline and comfort with one another. Certainly a wonderful team game to watch. It's not that they can't shoot outside, it's just they're doing such a good job of utilizing that to free people up. Norway continuing to work the ball around, a nice, strong, long offensive possession. And I think even to that benefit, what it is also preventing is a stall call. They're demonstrating a willingness to shoot and put it on there. The ref feels no need to put a stall call on as long as Norway is showing that they're looking to go to goal, which there's nothing you're seeing so far that would tell you otherwise.
And again, ball after the shot backed up by the Norwegian player, so it stays wide.
And just as a reminder to the audience, there is no shot clock in international lacrosse, but they do throw on stall calls, and I have noticed as games fall into this scenario where one team has a 2, 3, or even 4 or 5 goal lead on another, that refs will quickly pull that stall call, try to accelerate the pace of play. I think Norway's preventing such a call because they're demonstrating a willingness to go to goal. Good job by
Hao Nien Vu just was on the ball was dropped, but it once again picked beautifully by Norwegian players. I would like to see the ground ball statistics after the game, so if you're watching us, just check them out on the Point Bench or worldlacrosse.sport to check out how many, what was the difference between the Norwegian and the Croatian players. I won't bet, but I think it's like 2 times more picked up by Norwegian players. I'll just check it after the last whistle. And the ball goes red once again.
But for
There was
Croatia,
some kind
not
of
sure what the call
violation.
was. I assume an interference call. Can't be positive. All the same, it's still Croatia ball. With about a little bit over 5 minutes to go here on Croatia, get the ball down, try to get a solid offensive set. Been a while since the last word.
Bjelic was bringing the ball up the field to the other side of the pitch, and the coach of Team Croatia just called for the timeout. So we've got 5 minutes and 4 seconds left in the third quarter of the game, and both of the teams have a little bit of time for their own.
It is, as we would say back in the States, not weather for fair weather fans. This is dedicated lacrosse fans only. Had a pretty steady stream of rain here, and it has taken its toll on the field. If you are playing with Croatia, I think you want to get, you're entering that territory, you want a quick earth shot, but you've got to make the goalie move. Certainly with a crease that's going to be mucked up from the movement of water and dirt inside of the cleat, you want to make that goalie move left to right for an opportunity for a solid shot here. And if you're Norway, I think they're handling it exactly as they should not take their foot off the gas. If they take their foot off the gas, they're going to get stall calls, and I think it's going to work against them. They're going to lose half of that offensive end of the field. It's important, and we've seen this time and time here. If you have the lead heading into halfway through the fourth quarter, the refs have not hesitated to call that stall call. You've got to demonstrate a willingness to go to the goal.
So we have like 304 seconds left in the game between Croatia, who have scored 1 goal, and Norway with 6 points on the scoreboard. And the running play for Kukolecha from Kukolecha, but he gets stuck inside the defensive formation of Team Norway. Move and pick, or an interference, I think it was a move and pick. Kukolecha to Gorup. Gorup will try to utilize the pick, and it was passed to Jack Brennan, who just shot it hard on the ground. Ball goes wide. Pardon my English, wide, not white.
Get for Croatia with 4:23 left here, trying to get a solid offensive set through. See a little give and go action here behind that X. Just a shade a little slow here.
Another shot by Brennan. This time I think it was Mike.
Shot has taken no backup, and now again Norway is on the offense. Unfortunate there. You can just see, I think, a little bit of ball watching on the part of Croatia, attempting simply to shoot their way through this. There isn't enough off-ball or passing action. I don't see Norway falling for it at this stage in the game. There's got to be a little bit more movement on the off-ball side to at least make the goalie try to make a quick decision.
And we're just looking at another offensive possession of the ball by Team Norway.
Norway's got to be careful to make sure they're demonstrating a willingness to go to the goal so they don't get the stall call put on them. I like what they're showing us here. A little bit of a drive action. Again, if they don't show a willingness to go to the goal, that ref will not hesitate to put the stall call on, in which case they're going to lose half of the offensive end.
And it's Roger Clavigio just running up with the ball, bringing it down the field up to the X and trying some individual play, and he got his hands free.
Impressive move there. Again, it may seem like something mild, but it's so important that the Norway offense demonstrates the ability, slipping and sliding. I think that's okay, though. It demonstrates the willingness to take a drive. Earlier games that I've watched,
many whistles
Maybe
letting us know that there's going to be a timeout for Team Norway with 2 minutes and 36 seconds left on the clock, with the score Norway 6, Croatia 1. And we have to just remind all of us that when there's less than 2 minutes on the clock will be stopped at every whistle.
I think getting into the stoppage time, the mistake I've seen rather consistently here is underestimating the impact of someone calling the stall call on you. the way the field is divided up in international lacrosse, it is a tiny field which runs horizontally halfway through for the box. And when you're in that scenario, you almost are forced into the wings. You lose the ability to really drive over the top. It's just a challenging offensive set for anyone to run with that shortened field. So you're better off, I think, initiating and attempting to show a dodge, even if it's just a possession shot, making it so that you're at least putting in a solid try, even if not necessarily wanting to risk a turnover. I'll give the refs credit here. It forces the offense not to simply just sit on the ball. I have a lot of respect for the fact that they've simply said, okay, you need to at least try here. Otherwise, we're going to just hand the ball back over. We saw it in the game, I think both of us watched for Poland, where the player never even engaged the other offensive player, and he was outside of the box and was actually called on the stall and created a turnover.
Back into the action with Norway on the ball. From Larsen to
See Norway throw the ball around here. This is a good way to get the ref going on there. Again, I think Norway has to show at least a desire to attack that goal just to keep that call off.
Shot from the distance made by Torbjørn Seim Halvorsen, but it was just stopped by Thomas Trgo.
I think the only challenge I'd have to that shot was maybe that he didn't get the ball down. But otherwise, again, you can't just simply sit with that, pass it around. It will get called off.
Less than 2 minutes, so we're into the stoppage time. Ball will be cleared by Team Norway. I was about to say
again,
they have to.
Norway demonstrating that exceptional clear, the patience on ball. It's been impressive to watch them as they've moved the ball down and run their offensive sets.
It's kind of the effect of the discipline in their team. Grunde Otnes with the ball.
There's trust in the set. They run and they move off ball.
Shot by Torbjørn Halvorsen, stopped by Thomas Trgo.
I get a very strong feeling that the Croatian goalie is trying to earn himself his time as a player.
Yes.
He has made quite a few stops today. That's just a way to put it. Croatia is not in this game if he has not been diving all through the mud, stopping the ball. It's been impressive to watch.
53 seconds left for either Norway or Croatia to score anything more. Individual action by the Norwegian player.
Yet
and
another
shot.
The goalie for Croatia taking it on the body, the hands. You can see him limping. He is given everything today to keep them in the game.
The last shot by Grunde Otsen. Haonyen Vu running and shooting and shooting it wide. As you said before, Thomas Trgo is now laying on the ground and getting up and is covered in mud, but still fighting for his team to prevent them from losing the 7th goal of the game. 18 seconds left.
Look at that stop from their goalie.
And look at that pass, which just went out of bounds at the other end line.
I was almost hoping the goalie would have given a shot call on that from the refs for an opportunity. He's earned a little break. 5 seconds left.
Oh, what a... It became a great pass. Okay, that's all. That was the final whistle in the game between Norway and Croatia. The game is won by the team Norway with the score 6-1, but the effort of Tomas Trgo, number 49, the goalie of Croatia, won't be forgotten. Also, big congratulations to Team Norway for winning this game. And remember that now we're gonna have some post-game interviews by Summer or Sam, and we can see each other in the evening, either in the white tent during the evening studio, the summary, or in at the Lax TV channel on YouTube. We're gonna call it the 5th quarter. So see you in the evening. Thank you very much. This was Marcin Jędrzejewski
and Daniel Czernowski.
See you soon. Bye bye.
I'm joined here on the sidelines with number 25 goalie from Norway, Torgrim Eriksson. More than 90% save percentage for you today. What attributed to that success?
I think we saw that they wanted to shoot a lot, so we just tried to push them to get bad shots, and I had a great defense with me, so I have to thank them a lot. Yeah.
You guys have been playing in this bottom portion of the tournament, but there's still a lot of meaningful lacrosse to be played. How does playing at these close competitive games, how does that raise the level of lacrosse?
I think it's just important to meet players or teams that we can fight against close games. That it's not like we don't play defense all the games, and we just I don't know we have to fight, but it's not. But and we got a good chance of winning. That's the best thing though, to come out of the equal games and just come out with a win.
Norway, you've been here in Poland for almost 2 weeks now. A lot of downtime. What are you guys doing to enjoy your time here?
We watch a lot of movies and games, and we try to go and see the beautiful city as well. Just try to experience the Poland.
You have a favorite movie or game?
No, not yet.
Not one yet?
There's several days left. I have to wait to the end before I can say my favorite.
One more time, goalie from Norway, Torgrim Eriksson, as Norway defeats Croatia 6-1 here at the 2025 European Men's Lacrosse Championship. Thank you, man.
I'm here with Turgo Tomas from Croatia after a pretty rough game, as you can see by the state of the field and his legs. Got a little dirty here against Norway. Turgo, you had 31 shots on you. You only let in 6. How do you do that?
I just kind of get into a flow state. I was really excited for this game. I thought we had a chance. We've lost a couple guys, so I knew everybody would have to pick up the slack a little extra. I was able to see the ball. Felt like a beach ball today, and I wish we had more success as a team, but it happens.
And what's the first thing you're going to do when you leave this field?
Well, I think I have a broken thumb, so I'm going to get some ice on that, and hopefully the swelling goes down. But after that, I hang out with my kids and take a cold shower and relax.
Awesome. That's Turgo Tomas from Croatia after a game versus Norway here at the European Men's Lacrosse Championships.